There are few commands in Scripture as simple and as overlooked as this one. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, though it cost all you have in understanding. Proverbs 4:7. Notice Solomon doesn't say to get success or get influence or get wealth. He says get wisdom, because wisdom has a remarkable way of producing the things that we chase, while chasing those things rarely produces wisdom. The world teaches us to ask, what do I want? Wisdom teaches us to ask, what is right? Those are rarely the same question. Proverbs spends chapter after chapter warning us about evil, but perhaps not in the way that we typically imagine. Most of us aren't deciding whether to rob a bank today. We're just deciding whether to tell a half-truth, or whether to forgive, or whether to gossip, whether to honor our spouse, or to serve when nobody notices, whether to cut a corner, whether to choose comfort over calling, whether to indulge today instead of investing for tomorrow. Those are wisdom decisions. And over time, those small choices, they become the person that we are becoming. Think about Joseph. He could have justified giving in to Potiphar's wife. No one would have known. Instead, he chose integrity, but it cost him his freedom before it eventually elevated him to leadership. And think about David. One afternoon of unchecked desire led to adultery and deception, murder, consequences that rippled through generations. The pleasure lasted a moment, but that pain lasted years. That's Proverbs. Every decision is planting something. Wisdom asks, what harvest am I creating? The beautiful news is that Scripture promises wisdom isn't reserved for scholars. James tells us that if anyone lacks wisdom, ask God. He gives it generously. So today, before making that next big decision, just pause and pray. Ask not what is easiest, ask what is wisest. Because the beginning of wisdom isn't knowing everything, it's just deciding that wisdom itself is worth pursuing. So here's a compass calibration challenge. Just today identify one decision you've been avoiding because the wise choice may feel harder than the easy one. And just choose wisdom anyway. The future you, and more importantly, the kingdom will thank you. So if you're looking for practical ways to build biblical wisdom into your daily life, be sure to download the free Scripture Compass that points to a lot of passages on wisdom, of course, Proverbs being the main one.